All right, guys, happy Monday. We only have a couple more rules, and then we are done with these exponent rules. So today we're going to talk about what happens when you have fractions, or what happens when you divide. So when you have division going on, or if you have a fraction and you have something on top, something on bottom, what you do is you use this thing called the quotient rule. So if you have something to a power over something with the same base to a power, what you do is you take those exponents and you subtract them. And you have to do top minus bottom, A minus B. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. We have a fraction going on. So to reduce this, I'll try to zoom in a little bit for you there. So to reduce this, we have x to the fifth over x to the third. That gives us x to the, leave the base the same, take your exponents and subtract them, and 5 minus 3 is 2. That's it. Number 2, they both have a k. 12 minus 2 is 10. And for number 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. Anything, so we'll start talking about this today. Anything to the 0 power in your calculator, I'll even show you. If I take 3 to the 0, I get a 1. If I take 5 to the 0, I get a 1. No matter what, anytime you raise something to the 0 power, it's 1. So here, if we have m to the 0, something to the 0 power, it's 1. So anytime you raise something to the 0 power, it's actually going to be 1. So if we take a look here at number 4, so now we have a couple of variables going on. You do the same thing though. You almost want to take it in chunks. So we take a look at the a's. 6 minus 2, we get a to the 4th. Now look at the b's. 4 minus 3, you get a 1. And if you don't want to write the 1, you can write it as a to the 4th b. Either one of these are totally fine. If you want to write the 1, write the 1. You don't have to though. So then for this one, for p, we get p to the 7 minus 4 is 3. 6, and then you get q. 16 minus 12 is 4. So just subtract. Lots of subtraction today. Let's see, I'm going to show you what happens when you have numbers though. So when you have coefficients or numbers out in front, you actually divide the coefficients. So if it's a fraction, if it stays a fraction, you leave it a fraction. But you then, after you divide the coefficients out, you're going to simplify those variables using the quotient rule. So like for number 7, 6 over 2 reduces to 3 over 1. X to the 4th over x cubed, subtract them. Whenever you subtract, it actually, and you have a fraction with numbers, it goes back up top. 4 minus 3 is x to the 1st. Now, if there's a 1 on bottom, you don't have to write it. So it can be 3 to the, or just 3x is totally fine. So here, 14 over 7, 14 divided by 7 is 2 over 1. R squared over r, 2 minus 1 is 1, so r to the 1st. S squared over s, 2 minus 1 is s to the 1st. So again, we have a 1 on the bottom, so we can just write this as 2rs. So number 9, negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9 over 1. C squared over c squared gives me c to the 0, which we'll talk about here in a second. D to the 5th over d cubed, 5 minus 3, we get d squared. So now we have a 1 on bottom, so get rid of it. So we have negative 9. C to the 1st is the same thing as 1. So it should be negative 9 times 1, which is negative 9. So actually the c to the 0, it goes away. And then you have d squared. Remember when you have like the same thing on top and bottom, how they cancel out? That's kind of what's happening here. And then I think the last one I'll show you guys, actually I'm going to show you this one right here. So for number 11, we have 4 over 8. So now what happens when you have 4 over 8, I wonder if decimals will do this for you. Let's see. If we do 4 divided by 8, we get 0.5. I wonder if this can move it back into a fraction for you. No, it can't. Whoops. So 4 over 8. Oh, I was hoping that it could change this into a fraction or a reduced fraction for you. Our calculators in school will do that. Let's see. No, it doesn't. So basically, if you can't reduce a fraction, or if it's not going to reduce a fraction for you, I wonder if I can take, sorry guys, I'm trying to see if I can get this to work for you guys, so to make your life a little bit easier. No, it doesn't work. I tried, I really tried. I really was hoping that I could get this to reduce your fractions for you. But if you have 4 over 8, hopefully you know how to reduce fractions. 4 over 8 reduces to 1 over 2. And see, now we don't have a 1 on the bottom, so you've got to be a little more careful. And then you have n to the 5th over n, subtract them. 5 minus 1 is 4. And again, that always goes up top. So we have 1 n to the 4th over 2 as your final answer there. So you don't have to write the 1 if you don't want to. You might want to though. So then 36 over 54, 36 divided by 54 gives you 0.6 repeating. I personally know that that's 2/3, but I also know that 36 and 54 are both divisible by 18. So that would be 18 goes into 36 2 times, 18 goes into 54 3 times. And then subtract your exponents. 9 minus 3 is 6. 5 minus 2 is 3. So you get 2m to the 6n cubed on top over 3. So tomorrow we will be reviewing this same kind of stuff again with different exponents. Your assignment today should help you out a little bit with this. We will be having a quiz again this Friday. If you are planning to be out of town, please let me know. I'm going to be posting multiple days, I think, in one, just to kind of help you guys out a little bit.